Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, as one might assume, the cryptocurrency markets were shaken yesterday amid a flurry of selling that saw more than $190 million worth of longs and shorts liquidated on the derivatives exchange known as BitMEX. According to data analytics provider Skew, around 6.1 million buy and 190 million sell liquidations occurred, bringing it to a total of around $196 million worth of Bitcoin longs and short positions. Beginning at around 14 o'clock UTC on the 26th of February, the price of Bitcoin began to fall below 9,000 US dollars. An hour later, BitMEX saw its largest amount of liquidation since the year began, rising well above 100 million US dollars. Little chart right there. The move in the derivatives markets comes during a sell-off in crypto spot market that saw Bitcoin's price fall more than 6% to a low of 86.75. CoinDesk BPI data shows. As you might have seen or might have heard or might have paid attention to what was happening yesterday, the cryptocurrency market is still in a downward dog position. Prices are still falling. Most people are trying to, and it's something that's fairly common, of course. When prices are going down, people try to speculate when prices are going to go back up, when things could potentially get better. This one says Litecoin price analysis nosedives below 60 US dollars, $50 next, question mark. XRP drops into 0.886 fib support. Are we still heading lower? This one says EOS price analysis, bears are back in control, sell rallies, question mark. This one says Dow futures drop around 400 points following the report of the virus apparently spreading further, as to be expected, as it is a virus. The entire point being, and even this one, just to confuse all of you a little bit more, it says Bitcoin price plunge stopped right at the 200 EMA, and it means recovery is imminent. I saw a good sprinkle of different websites who were talking about that. Despite all the selling pressure that we might have had, it appears that many coins stopped around very crucial support, or bounced off of it, or tried to fall back down several times over the course of a couple of hours, i.e. if this is the support line, they kept on bouncing off it over and over and over, and this is why Bitcoin, at least at the current moment, is around $200 higher than the 8,600 where we saw it just a couple of hours ago. I mean, it's just more so to cover the price action news. The traditional markets are not doing well all across the board, depending on which country you're in. None of them are really doing very well. A lot of fears. I mean, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of getting into it. Exactly what's going on with the virus. I'm sure you all have televisions and or smartphones and or tablets, and you know exactly what's also going on. The entire point being is that the cryptocurrency market is still in red. However, we're not as red as we could be or as we were yesterday, as prices have started a slight recovery, but it's still not, of course, where we were before. We are not above a $10,000 Bitcoin. I did see a couple of, it's really weird. Twitter's kind of odd. Like you get, I'm sure it happens for everyone. You get like news and stuff like that from people you aren't even subscribed to. I think it's because like you can see like if Andreas Antonopoulos has liked something, or and a couple of people were saying, now, you know, grain of salt time. The biggest analysts out there were saying that this was the final dip before the prices started going back up, and we finally maintained above 10,000. This was the last capitulation was the word that I kept on seeing used about 5 different times across Twitter. It kind of is what it is. I did, and now this is a very fascinating point. When Bitcoin was above anywhere from 9,900 to around 10,200, and as we started moving towards 10,400 just a couple of, was it 2 weeks ago, I saw an enormous amount of people in the comment section. I want to say more than 10 to 15% during each video who kept on saying that they were a little annoyed that Bitcoin's price had continued to go higher because they wanted to buy more. Now is your chance. If you were one of the people talking about that you were waiting for a dip, this is a, what is this, $1,700 dip. It's probably, maybe, who knows, Not going to get any better than that. So if you were looking for a good time to get into the market, this very well may be it. I mean, I also myself sat there, was like, $1,000 equals 1/10 of a Bitcoin. I'd love to have some more than that, and it looks like I got my wish. Anyway, that's what's happening with prices, at least right now at the time of me making this video. And let us move on. In your news that's everywhere news, the US SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, has once again rejected a proposal to create a Bitcoin-backed ETF. New York-based investment management firm Wilshire Phoenix proposed the Bitcoin ETF. Investment management firm Wilshire Phoenix had initially proposed the BTC ETF back in mid-2019, but the SEC's ruling was repeatedly delayed. The SEC, in a 76-page statement, why 76 pages? Who knows? Said today that the applicant failed to meet the necessary requirements, particularly those related to market manipulation and illicit activities. The US SEC has not approved any Bitcoin ETF so far, as they believe the Bitcoin market is vulnerable to manipulations and frauds. It did not come as a surprise that the SEC rejected the ETF, as they rejected all of them in the past. I think people have been trying since around 2013 or 2014. This news, as one might have imagined, was everywhere. Why was it everywhere? Because I think people still think that people care about a Bitcoin ETF. We went over this about 3-4 days ago. I told you to be prepared, or rather to not get your hopes up, because they're not going to allow any of them anytime soon. It's a bit more than a silver lining for those of you. I don't know how many of you want an ETF or an ETP or an ETN. Many other countries are allowing these in mass. It's only one place that keeps not allowing them through. And the point is, I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon, because they believe that manipulation is so high, so they say, within the cryptocurrency space, that there's no possible way that they can allow an ETF to go through. Here's the actual PDF. It says, order disapproving a proposed rule change is modified by amendment number 1 for the actual Bitcoin ETF. And yeah, here's their 76-page rejection. I think they would have gotten it if it had just been like one paragraph long, or just said the word no. That would have also made a bit more sense. Anyway, this news was everywhere. It'll probably... And I fear for the world, because I'm certain that within a day or two, we're going to start getting news that the cryptocurrency market is down because of this. No, it's not. Every other time, 2018, 2019, whenever prices were down, it was always blamed on a Bitcoin ETF rejection. And then when we got futures, and the futures contracts would be ending, like the month period, that was also the reason given for why the cryptocurrency market was going down and or going back up. The Bitcoin ETF being rejected by the SEC for the 38th time in the last 6, 7, 8 years is not the reason for the market going down. And without further ado, let us move on. Also in news, I'm not joking, this started popping up on Twitter, Reddit, everywhere you can think about news. This was everywhere. Chamath Palihapitiya, former Facebook executive and chairman of Virgin Galactic, says that everyone should have 1% of their net worth invested in Bitcoin. He cited Bitcoin's quality as a totally uncorrelated asset class and the overuse of leverage in traditional finance as reasons to hedge with Bitcoin. Here's the interview right here. Chamath has been saying since 2013 that he believes that every investor, institutional or retail, should make space in their portfolio for the number one cryptocurrency. He said everyone should have a 1% allocation of assets in Bitcoin. Clear enough. The seasoned venture capital investor pointed out that Bitcoin is a new kind of asset class that is uncorrelated from traditional commodities, stocks, and other investment assets. He went on to say that investing in Bitcoin is valuable because it is uncorrelated to other asset classes. He did point out, however, that with BTC's volatility, using it as a safe haven could be disastrous, which for those of you who don't know the idea of Bitcoin as a safe haven or where it kind of comes from, It's the idea a couple of years ago when we started, this is many years ago, the idea that Bitcoin, because of its scarcity, it is very scarce. There's only 21 million, 6 million are lost, you know, the whole spiel. That Bitcoin and the wider cryptocurrency market, at least a large portion of the cryptocurrencies, would be their own new asset class, and they weren't really correlated to anything else. And the idea that Bitcoin would be a safe haven came under the idea that, remember we were talking about all the other banks and the institutions who've been doing where potentially Bitcoin's price could go sometime in the future. And it always came out to $250,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin. There were news stories in 2017 of a $100 million Bitcoin. Not going to get into that. The entire point is that as time goes on, Bitcoin's price would rise. It would be scarcer. More people would try to get it. And the more people around the world who are trying to accumulate Bitcoin, who are trying to use Bitcoin, who are trying to send money back and forth around the world when they are not able to do so, this would cause Bitcoin's price to rise higher and higher, and therefore it would be seen as a safe haven asset. Part of the issue is that a lot of people who don't like Bitcoin, who don't like cryptocurrencies, the gold bug guy and all the other people, they make sure. This is what I keep saying. Twitter's really weird because I keep seeing their posts even if I'm not following them. When Bitcoin drops, if Bitcoin's price goes down, if Bitcoin is down anywhere from it doesn't really matter, from 4%, 8%, 12%, 15, 20%, they make sure to write a post all the time talking about, well, I thought Bitcoin was a safe haven. Anyone who thinks that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset right now should not be in the cryptocurrency space or should just have nothing to really say about it. The entire idea is if we continue on this current trajectory, in about 10, 15 years' time, Bitcoin's price will be so high and have a market cap in several trillions that it will be seen as a safe haven asset in accordance to the other major currencies around the world having a lower inflation rate, having a very, very fixed supply. And that's kind of where the idea comes from. So the word isn't annoyed. It just gets annoying to constantly see these people who don't own Bitcoin, who don't like Bitcoin, who are never going to own. I give them 10 years, they'll be trying to own some Bitcoin, if not buying up Bitcoin secretly right now. They all make sure to constantly say, well, I thought it was a safe haven. And it's like, you know Bitcoin isn't seen as a safe haven right now. It's just something that's going to come down the line. He said these are not event-driven strategies. When you see a virus scare, you should not be buying Bitcoin. This is an idiotic strategy. How does that even correlate to what we were just talking about? He said that an allocation of Bitcoin should be seen as an insurance for a rainy day. And hopefully you'll never need to use it. You should invest 1% and never look at it again unless you need it for a crisis. Or maybe look at it again in 10 years when it's one of the largest assets in the world. The entire point is, this was everywhere. I could not get away from it, no matter how hard I tried. Every website that I went to was talking about this. This is not the first time that he said this or that other people have said this. I mean, there are at least 7 billionaires within the cryptocurrency space right now who have all made sure to mention that everyone should have at least 1% of their portfolio in Bitcoin. What I always find fascinating, and I guess we will never have the exact numbers, is that the same exact people who keep saying that they should have 1% of their assets in Bitcoin, I would bet that they probably have anywhere from 5 to 10% of their net worth in Bitcoin. Why? Because logically, if these people were buying Bitcoin around 2012 for a couple of dollars, and they had, let's say, anywhere from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 Bitcoin, just a rough estimate. If Bitcoin was around $10 and you could buy 50,000 of them for $500,000, and these people are billionaires, one can only assume that they probably have a hefty amount. And over the years, as they've been advocating for Bitcoin for a very long time, that they probably have also been buying an enormous amount of Bitcoin throughout that entire time. So if Bitcoin's price goes from $10 to even 87, 76, their net worth is probably anywhere from 7 to 12 to 15% in Bitcoin. That's just the numbers that I came up with. Anyway. Everywhere. This news was every gosh darn where. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up in news that was really everywhere news, European money transfer service Azimo is tapping tech from blockchain firm Ripple for its remittance corridor to the Philippines. Announced on Tuesday, Azimo will begin using Ripple's on-demand liquidity, previously known as XRP, service to speed up the transfer of customer funds. The service will notably utilize the XRP cryptocurrency to move value to the Southeast Asian nations in seconds, where it is converted into Philippine pesos and passed on to recipients. Remittance firms provide a vital service for a large number of Filipino workers abroad looking to send funds back to their families. The market is a valuable one, hitting a record high of $33.5 billion in 2019, 3.9% higher than the previous year. The partnership signals a move by the two companies looking to capture a larger portion of the country's lucrative remittance market, the fourth largest globally, according to the World Bank. In addition, Ripple says the ODL, the on-demand liquidity, has the potential to reduce liquidity costs when compared to traditional banking solutions, which are often slow and costly. Ripple has a new partnership just about thrice a week. Usually about a good 80% of the time, 3 of them during the week will end up being someone using RippleNet. And usually the next week, we usually have one more new partner who is going to be using XRP. I've noticed an uptick, and I'm sure it's not just me. I'm pretty sure other people who also read the comment section have seen it as well. And the amount of people who are, I don't know why, who are increasingly angry with me. I think it's every time I say the word XRP. XRP, XRP, Ripple, XRP, XRP, Ripple, XRP. I think I spoke about Ripple or XRP like a day or two before. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember because it's just the news. Then I think I spoke about it the day before because there was also news, and I think the day before. And then about 4 days before that, I also spoke about it. And I saw a couple of people in the comment section yesterday discussing how I said before that I said, and I remember saying this, I said, I don't know why people get so angry, or in general, once again, these are digital currencies that you did not create, and if you don't own them, you should be even less upset. They were angry because I said last year or months ago that I maybe cover Ripple or XRP maybe once every 12 videos. It was true because they barely had any news. And as they have more news coming out and their digital currency is actually being used, same as the video that we were going over yesterday, I'm going to go over the news. They're the 3rd largest cryptocurrency. Why would I not go over something because you don't like it? It doesn't make any sense. So for those of you who are angry about me saying the words XRP or Ripple or XRP or XRP or XRP, take a breather. Maybe take a week and go on holiday somewhere. Go relax and enjoy your life, because if you're getting angry at someone saying letters, you probably are more stressed than I am right now, and you probably need a good vacation. Once again, XRP, especially even more so, I think it's the same people. This is just my feeling about it. The people who kept on screaming before in 2017 and 2018 that no one would actually use XRP. And now we have at least about 10 companies this year so far who have announced that they're going to be using XRP. So the entire idea that no one would be using it has completely poofed. And I think they're maybe angry that companies are actually using it now and that I'm talking about it. I don't know what it is, but get it together. Go. And I don't mean that to be mean. Like, really, if you have a problem with someone saying letters because you don't like those letters and you don't even own those letters, it might be time to step away from the crypto markets for a while. It happens to everyone. We all have those moments where it gets to be a bit too much. Anyway, that's the Ripple XRP news because someone else is using them. Right. The Libra Association is reportedly set to add another company to its ranks, the crypto brokerage firm known as Tagomi. According to reports by TechCrunch, the company was slated to make the announcement as soon as later this week. The news follows the announcement that Shopify had also joined the association. For those of you who don't know, Shopify has also joined Libra, as now has Tagomi. A representative for Tagomi confirmed TechCrunch's report. In total, the association has 22 members, including firms like Lyft and Uber, as well as investors like Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures. A handful of firms have exited the group, which oversees the development of the Libra stablecoin project, as questions over the legality of the coin structure have piqued the interest of global regulators. Tagomi's co-CEO, Jennifer Campbell, is a former employee of Union Square Ventures, according to her LinkedIn profile. Who cares? Why'd you write that? I don't care about that. The entire point being, the people who, and this is, for some, and I don't know what it is this how life works for other people? A lot of people think that because they don't like something, that something should not or could not or would not or will not happen in the future. A lot of people don't like Libra. I don't care for what Libra's doing, but there are the rumors have been for a long amount of time, for maybe those of you who are relatively new. The people from Facebook said that they initially had actually wanted to exclusively use Bitcoin to transfer stuff back and forth, but they said it wasn't possible. They said when you have a platform as big as they're trying to build, to be able to actually send Bitcoin, imagine Facebook launches this platform and they allow 1.7 whatever billion people on the planet to be able to send Bitcoin back and forth on their platform. And then eventually it doesn't work because Bitcoin only has 3 transactions per second, a maximum 5, I believe, if you really push it to the limit. And then about 3, 4, 5 weeks later, no one's using it anymore because Bitcoin is relatively slow to be able to send back and forth. So the people from, this is what they said. So the people from Facebook created Libra as a way to send value back and forth very rapidly. But there were even reports from people who are in the Calibra Association who said, or rather it was speculated. They hinted, and it was also speculated that at some point they may add in the actual Calibra wallet, because it's going to be a digital currency wallet that will not just be Libra forever, that eventually they're probably going to add Bitcoin as a payment option. So them adding Facebook, having a platform where they become the biggest bank in the entire world with billion whatever people using their platform or having the potential to use their platform, and also being able to open up their wallet on their Facebook page or their messenger and seeing that you can also send Bitcoin, opens up Bitcoin to a billion plus people on the planet. This is why it's constantly very big news within the cryptocurrency space. Regardless, like I said, if you like Libra or not, I don't care for Libra itself, but the idea that the Calibra wallet will one day have Bitcoin, maybe XRP, maybe Ether, maybe Litecoin inside of it as well, that opens up the floodgates for cryptocurrency for the entire planet. We become hyper mainstream overnight, especially when you get the news. Imagine whatever billion people, let's even say, let's file it down to 1.5 billion people who use Facebook. Imagine you, your mother, your family member, your cousin, your aunt, and your uncle, whoever uses Facebook, opens up Facebook, and the top thing that they see at the very top is an ad, and it says, you can now use Litecoin on Facebook. Do you know what that would do for the price of Litecoin and all these other things? So it's kind of a, I can't think of the word, not a greater evil kind of thing, but it's more like a, Libra's going to happen, and if the cryptocurrency community can benefit from it, then it kind of is what it is. The other point to be made is that the other companies who left the Calibra Association said they did so because of regulations. I think it was a bit more than that. They probably also maybe assumed that they were going to be creating their own coins, the same exact one with the other company who left, and they said that they were going to be focusing more on the M-Pesa, which means that they probably have better ways to make money. I mean, of course, it's not like they're like, well, let's make less money over there. They probably figured out a way to corner the market even more. The entire point being, other companies continue to join the Libra Association. This is going to continue. What I meant before, as far as like people not liking it and thinking that it's not going to happen, the people from Facebook don't care what you think. The people from Facebook are trying to become the largest bank in the world and essentially become a $1 trillion company at some point within the next 10 to 15 years. And you writing angry letters or getting angry with me in my comment section is not like, can you imagine Mark Zuckerberg going, well, I was looking at one of TMI's videos and the comment section seemed pretty angry. Guys, should we go along with this? No. We have to stop. I don't think people will like Libra. They don't care. Has any other major institution or bank cared when other people got annoyed before? No, they do it to continue making money. The point being, Tagomi has joined Libra, and I assume about 3 more companies are going to join before summertime, which is still the estimated time when Libra was supposed to launch. It was supposed to be launched. People thought it was going to launch sometime around June, July of this year. I'm still going with that time frame. Don't be surprised. I assume they're working on this diligently as, money. And to kind of finish things off, Payment and mobile financial service company Square reported the fourth quarter earnings this evening, which included another record-breaking quarter of Bitcoin purchase volumes. Square reported more than $178 million in Bitcoin purchases in the fourth quarter. For 2019 as a whole, the payments firm registered more than $516 million worth of Bitcoin sales, translating to $8 million in gross profits, less than 2% of gross profits from subscription and transaction-based services. So the people from Square, which is the money crypto arm, I don't know what to call this, of Twitter, kind of, as Jack Dorsey is the head of it, sold $500 million worth of Bitcoin. That's a lot, especially when we try to put into perspective the amount of, at least I do, the amount of sales that happen across the wider cryptocurrency market. I'm always very interested to see exactly how much crypto is being accumulated. Jeez Louise, Kraken, my goodness. That's all. Ooh. I like seeing how much is being purchased, especially with the other metrics of, what was it? Like the amount of Bitcoin that goes into a wallet but does not leave it, as far as like crypto is being, or rather Bitcoin is being heavily accumulated. This was also kind of everywhere. I think anytime that Square or Jack Dorsey, not even joking, mentions Bitcoin or crypto, it kind of always makes headlines all over the place. I think I'm still also waiting to see exactly what Jack Dorsey is going to do with Bitcoin. He keeps mentioning, or rather there have been speculations. I think a lot of tip bots on Twitter have been taken down, have been banned, have been washed away at sea, whatever you kind of want to call it. And the rumors were that they would have like because he also likes the Lightning Network, so that they would have a Lightning Network Bitcoin tip bot that would be integrated directly into Twitter, which would also be kind of cool. I mean, anyway, that's the Square news. They sold $500 million worth of Bitcoin in 2019. That's a huge amount just happening on one app, as there are many apps and many websites and many different platforms for people to be able to buy, sell, trade, and hold Bitcoin. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Chongololo Tsongololo, Nostromo, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, the Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohem Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milouizi, Crypto Artist, Goldie 3D, Nicholas Renault, One Peace, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler. Holy crap, I forgot to breathe. Crypto Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangia, Lavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Chest Every Day, and Cowskips Leg Day. Yes, 2 Crypto, Body McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monster Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Creole, and Michelle, URL. And hold on, I have to sneeze. Thank you all very, very much for your support, and thank you to everyone who is a supporting member of the channel. Thank you all very, very much. At the moment, the crypto market's kind of doing stuff. It was completely red before I started the video. A lot of coins have their Satoshi prices in green. Not all of them, but if you even just look as I'm scrolling by, a lot of them have their Satoshi prices in green. A lot of coins are actually starting to shoot up, at least at the time of me making this video. I guess it could be based off of the news that we were getting, or that I was seeing earlier, that it appears that we've bounced off of that same support over and over, which was around 8,600, and therefore it looks like, according to what was this one, it looks like a recovery could be imminent. Take that with a bowl of salt. Never believed because an article says so that something will happen. It's more of a prediction. However, there are Tezos is up, Chainlink is up, Leo is up, Huobi token for what it's worth is also up, Nem is up. Well, Lisk is also, like, there are certain coins that are moving up a bit higher than other coins. Maybe there was some other news that we just didn't or weren't able to see, but a lot of altcoins are looking like they're trying to move back up. I did not personally expect them to stay down forever. That would be a bit foolish to think so. Anyway, once again, not financial advice. However, if you were looking to buy the dip, we are currently in the dip until we go up. What is that? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have another 1,600 to go of Bitcoin moving up for it to hit 10,400 once again. So this could potentially be the moment to make some profits. Once again, I buy regardless. I don't care where the prices are. But I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. Is today Thursday? Have a great Thursday. Just enjoy. Thank you all once again. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.